Hi there, Mike from Shoe Science Albany in Silverdale with this week's Tech Tuesday. We're going to touch on walking and some of the differences in footwear that you walkers out there may require versus the runners that we have been talking about more recently. Now, over the years, the unfortunate thing with walking is there's not been a lot of walking shoes designed specifically for you. Generally, walking shoes have always been running shoes that have just been applied to the walking customer who walks in our doors. The hard thing there are some differences, fundamental differences between walkers and runners. Obviously, walkers don't strike the ground as hard, about 1.5 times your body weight on average, but you spend a lot more time on the ground, most of the time in that forefoot position as you're toeing off. Now that means that the shoe's under a lot of pressure in that area, and at times walkers can wear their shoes out faster than runners will in that forefoot. Now we also see the likelihood of toes breaking through some of the lightweight mesh uppers that these running shoes are made from. Now there are walking shoes out there with reinforced toe caps and areas like that to give you a little bit of durability, but that is a common problem with those walkers who spend so much time levering off the ground. Now, the other thing to ask yourself is, if we spend so much time on the forefoot, how does that forefoot function? Now, one of the most critical parts of fitting a walking shoe or a running shoe is understanding the ability of your foot to toe off. Now, toe off is all part of the propulsive mechanism that throws us forward when we walk or run. So here at Shoe Science Albany in Silverdale, we have a way of understanding the requirements of your big toe joint. Is it flexible? Is it rigid? Have you worn football boots for 30 years? Do you have issues with the way that your forefoot is functioning? You'll see a lot of rocker soles out on the market these days. Every brand is embracing this more rigid, dynamic forefoot technology, and it's becoming very, very common in running shoes for those runners who want to increase their tempo. But recommended wrongly for walkers at times, a stiff forefoot not allowing that big toe to flex can cause stresses and pain that will make it very, very difficult for that walker to roll forward. This type of rocker sole is designed for that person with a stiffer big toe joint who's trying to shift load differently to that person with a more flexible big toe joint. So pop in the store and see us. We'll take you through some fundamental foot tests and understand your requirements from a stability standpoint, but also a flexibility standpoint. So we'd love to see you soon at Shoe Science Albany in Silverdale, and catch us next week for another Tech Tuesday.